Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 23rd, I believe, and I wanted to give you a garden update. Up here in Ontario, pretty much a garden in November means nothing. So let me show you what I have and explain my plans for this winter and possibly for next spring. It is late in the afternoon here, maybe about 3:30, so the sun is pretty low. You can kind of see some of my shadow cast very far, so I apologize for that. But anyway, this is the small plot that I had this year, which I never planted anything on. If you can remember that, the only thing that used to be here was about maybe a 25-foot row of radishes that actually from seed that I had for probably maybe 3 or 4 years, and they came up and did well. This used to be 2 big piles of wood and brush and junk that I cleaned out in the summer, and I decided to make it into a little garden space for next year. The dimensions are at the top here, you're looking at roughly 40 feet by 70, and then around 60 feet down at the bottom. I had to give about a 15 or so foot leeway between the garden and the paddock fence, so the horses can get by as well as my machinery can get by to cut my top field. And then we have the big garden excuse me, which y'all remember. It is roughly 150 foot along the long side, and then it's about 75 feet coming up this way, and then it's about 120 down, and then it cuts in like almost like 2 different sections. Just because if you see down there, it drops off a little bit, and it wouldn't have been the best to plant there, or the easiest to till, even in 4-wheel drive, because it just wants to push the tiller. And doing it the other way, I understand you can go up the hill, it will be a lot better. Just that if you'd see it over there, the way that I have it set up actually works better than having one big space. But anyway, the soil for this time of year, it doesn't look very bad at all. If you see down there, see if I can zoom in for you. I don't know if I can zoom in. There you go. That down there is aged horse compost. That was in front of my barn that I've been moving throughout the summer. Actually, quite a few yards is on this. If you can remember my videos, what the soil used to look like in the spring and the summer, this is what it looks like now with all that compost added. As well as over here, it's full of compost. I mean, yes, you got to keep in mind that it is the end of November, so soil isn't going to look as great as it would be in June. And anyway, up here, if you see, there's 3 rows, or 3 areas that look a little bit different. And actually here is probably about maybe 10 to 12 feet by around 100 that I just tilled up this fall. Actually, late fall, only a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I added some compost in this, and I'm hoping to expand the garden a little bit up into here next year. And I want to do my hand at doing berries, if it works out, strawberries. So if I figure I have 10 feet wide, I could probably get 3 rows in there, 3 feet apart, 3 or 4 feet apart by 100 feet, so that's a couple hundred feet of strawberries. Because as everybody I talk to, they say, hey, people like berries. And I'm not a huge berry eater, as most of you know. Let me turn this way so the sun isn't in the camera. But berries are big sellers, even in the grocery store when they have them on sale, that they come from the southern U.S. or Mexico or wherever they come from. If you're not there the first couple days, they're sold out. So I figure if I could grow a couple rows, it might entice people to stop next spring and next summer. I'm looking at probably the mid-season, or possibly, I think they call them the day neutral or everbearing, they grow all summer. I know some of those aren't maybe the best types because your yield is small throughout the whole summer, but I feel it's an easy one to get into. I just have to find a ready supplier up here where I can get some plugs or some liners or whatever the size that they bring them in. In the US it's a lot easier, of course. Just as I found out, I tried to buy some seeds that were on sale from a company in Maine, and you'd think, oh, Maine's real close, but my order only came to around $21 with tax. However, the duties and the custom paperwork and everything else came to around $40. So I basically would have to be paying $60 for a $20 order. and that's just something that I can't afford to do. Even if the items weren't on sale, they still wouldn't have equaled $60. I'd pay maybe $20 with shipping and handling and everything like that for a $20 order, but not $40 or even $60. That's outrageous. So eventually, I talked to one of the representatives, and unfortunately I had to cancel my order, and he understands, and he said, we have this a lot with international shipping. It's just the rules and regulations are so strict. Oh well, next time I guess. But anyway, back to the garden. My battery's almost dead, so hopefully I don't run out. But basically, this is what it looks like in the beginning of winter. Fields are dying down. Everything is ready to freeze up. No snow yet. That stayed. We had a couple days, maybe 2 days of snow, where it melted by the afternoon. Anyway, keep checking out the channel. Subscribe if you want, and comment please. That would be great about what you want to see, and I'll get back at the videos well next spring.